So we're now at question 3, June 2018, paper 2. And it says, using a ruler, pencil, and a pair of compasses, construct the triangle ABC such that AB is 8 centimeter, BAC, angle BAC is 30 degrees, and AC is 10 centimeter. So what I did was to put a bit of notes here so that you can understand the concept of construction before we go into it, seeing that we're not or will not be able to literally use the devices here that is required in the question to construct. So in constructing a 30 degrees, it says first we draw a ray or draw a line, and we are now making 2 points on it, which in this case for the note, we labeled A and B. So part 2 now, we place the tip of the compass on the point A and draw an arc that cuts the original line that was drawn in step 1, which is the ray, so our line AB. So place the tip of the compass at one end of the line and then draw an arc that cuts the line. After doing that, we then place the tip of the compass at the point at which that first arc cuts the line. So we didn't change the length of our compass, it remains the same. So we put the point now where it cuts the first line right here, which we're calling X, to make another swerve. And where it intersects, that is correct. And where it intersects, it is the point Y. So this point here, if we're constructing a 60 degrees angle, what we did just now was to construct a 60 degrees angle here. However, we're interested in a 30 degrees angle. So what we're doing is to now bisect our 60 degrees to get our 30 degrees angle that we are interested in. So what we'll now use to generate our 30 degrees or to construct our 30 degrees is to use these two intersecting points, the X and the Y, from our arc 1 and arc 2. So we're now using the point here at Y to bisect itself to get an intersection at Z, and this is now our 30 degrees angle. And you just draw a line from the point of origin, which we're using as A, and draw it through the intersection. This is our 30 degrees angle, and this is what it looks like should we have removed all the additional lines. So now going back to our question, it says, using a ruler, pencil, a pair of compass, construct the triangle. So what we did first, we draw a line and measure 8 centimeter using our ruler and label the points A, B. So this is my line, 8 centimeter, labeling it A, B. So first, we draw a line and measure 8 centimeter and label the points A, B. Then we open the compass and make an arc that cuts the line AB. So whatever we just learned in theory, we're now applying here. Yes, you can use a protractor to verify, but you need to show all construction lines as you're being given points for your construction lines. So we open the compass now to make our first arc that cuts the line AB. So this is from the theory that we just learned. Then where arc 1 cuts the line AB, we place the compass and cut this original arc where it cuts it. So we're placing the compass here to cut arc 1. Where it cuts this now, where arc 2 cuts arc 1, this would have been a 60 degrees angle. So if we're drawing a 60 degrees, this would have been a perfectly constructed 60 degrees angle. So this is our 60 degrees. Then we're bisecting the 60 degrees to get the 30 degrees angle. So we're using the intersection, the one where the first arc cuts AB, and the second where arc 1 and arc 2 intersect to get our points in the middle. And where we get our point in the middle, this is now our 30 degrees angle. So we constructed our 60 degrees, we bisect it to get our 30 degrees angle. And the question says that AC, which should have been from the point A of origin along this line that helps in constructing our 30 degrees, the length of it should be 10 centimeters. If you're wondering how long should I have drawn this to the 30 degrees mark, it should have been 10 centimeters as stated in the question. And then we can go ahead and join our triangle to get our perfectly constructed triangle of ABC, where AB is 8 centimeters, which we use the ruler to draw. We get our angle BAC, which is 30 degrees, which we use our compass to construct, and then we use our ruler to join the point at C with the point at B, where AC is 10 centimeters. So part B now says, the diagram below shows the triangle OPQ. So we have OPQ, and it says state the coordinates of the point Q. Now guys, if you remember, when you're always writing coordinates, your x-axis come first, followed by your y-axis. If we're reading the coordinates for the point Q, we read from the x-axis first, followed by the y-axis. So indeed, when we zoom in, it will be right here, and their coordinates would be 4, 1. That is good. So this is it. We have our xy. So it is written in the form of x, y. So our 4 is from right here, and our 1 is from there on the y-axis. So that was an easy mark. So part 2 now says the line PQ is mapped to P prime, Q prime by an enlargement, center O, and a scale factor 3. On the diagram above, draw the line P prime, Q prime. So if you see here, I worked out how we got the different coordinates for P prime or new P prime and Q prime when it undergoes an enlargement through the center using a scale factor of 3. So we have a scale factor of 3, and it could have been done by you just multiplying each point for each by just 3 instead of using this matrix of 3, 0, 0, 3. So if you had multiplied P by 3, you'd have gotten the 6, 6, which is right here, and the same thing for Q. We did 3 by 4, you'd have gotten 12, and 3 by 1, you'd have gotten 3. So what we did for the scale factor 3, we multiplied each point from P. So if you're wondering how we got the 2, 2, at the point P here, reading from the x-axis, it was 2, then the y-axis, it was 2. For the point Q, we got it in part 1, it was 4 and 1, and it undergo an enlargement through the center O using the scale factor 3, because the scale factor 3 written as a matrix is 3, 0, 0, 3. So it being written as a matrix is 3, 0, 0, 3. So it will be the same as if you had just multiplied the points by 3, as in 3 by 2 to give you 6, and 3 by 2 to give you 6, and 3 by 4 to give you 12, and 3 by 1 to give you 3. But this is just showing you proper mathematical procedures. So when you do that, we now have the points for P prime and Q prime and can construct the new line which they asked us for and show our enlargement. And that would be it. And that is your simple 2 marks. Part 3 now says triangle OPQ undergoes a reflection in the line y equals 0 to produce the image O prime P prime Q prime on the diagram below. So they're asking us to draw this new triangle. So OPQ undergoes a reflection in the line y equals 0. And what this is saying is, if you look at it, the line y equals 0 is basically us reflecting the triangle in the x-axis. And what we know is that when we're reflecting the x-axis, under reflection in the x-axis, the mirror line is y equals 0. So the x-coordinate remains unchanged, but the y-coordinate is multiplied by -1. So now going back to our question, reflecting this in the line y equals 0 in the x-axis, each x value remains unchanged and each y value is multiplied by -1. So when we reflect an object, in the x-axis or in the line y equals 0, or y values remain unchanged and our x values remain unchanged and our y values are multiplied by -1. So for example, now if we're looking at the point right here, the center of enlargement, this is basically 0, 0. So therefore, it will still be the same point on our new triangle. For the point P, the original point of P was 2, 2. So the x value remain unchanged, so we'll still get 2. So our x value is the same 2 that was given, and then the y value, which was 2, we multiply by, so this was our original coordinate, 2, 2. And what we're saying is our x value here, it remains the same, but the y value, which is 2, we multiply by -1. 2 multiplied by -1 will give us -2, and that is how we got our point here for our P prime. Now for Q value, it was 4 and 1. So this is it written in our XY format, yes?
Where is it being reflected, on the x-axis or the y-axis?
It says in the line, the question is at the top, undergoes a reflection in the line y equals 0. The line y equals 0 is the same as the x-axis because it is along this line, only along this line, that y is equal to 0. So y equals 0 is the same as the x-axis. X equal to 0 is the same as the y-axis. So y equals 0 is the same as the x-axis. So for Q, which is 4, 1, or 4, let me go back on the info, please. Give me a second. Or 4 will remain unchanged, and our 1 will multiply by -1 to give us a -1. So our point for Q will now be right here. So our 4 remains unchanged and our 1 becomes -1. X equals 0 is a reflection in the y-axis, so it will be reflected in this line. So instead of the triangle being down here, it will be on the other side, going across. You can check June 2019, I uploaded a question today where a triangle was reflected in both the y-axis and the x-axis, so you can see that there if you're wondering what that will look like. For the person that asks to go back on the info, this is it. So under reflection in the x-axis, the mirror line y equals 0, the x coordinate remains unchanged, but the y coordinate is multiplied by -1. Is anyone seeing the points that are being plotted? So P prime and Q prime? Yes? Okay. So this is it. So it is P right here and Q right here. And those are our points. And then we can now go ahead. After that, we can then go ahead and join our triangle. And this is our reflection in the x-axis where the line is y is equal to 0. And that is it. So going again now from top, the question is triangle OPQ undergoes a reflection in the y, in the line y equals 0. It is along this line that y is equal to 0, which is the x-axis. And that is how we will produce our image that we are interested in. So this is just notes saying under a reflection in the x-axis, that is the mirror line where y is equal to 0, the x-coordinate remains unchanged. So if the x-coordinate was 6, when the reflection takes place, the x-coordinate will still be a positive 6. If it was a positive 9, when the reflection takes place, it will still be a positive 9. If it was a negative 7, when the reflection takes place, it will still be a negative 7. So when you reflect in the x-axis, your x value always remains the same, and your y value is multiplied by -1. So your x value remains the same and your y value is multiplied by -1. So we're now applying that principle to this triangle, to each point that is on this triangle. So the center O, which is right here, this first dot remains the same as 0 multiplied by anything will still give you 0. So it is still 0. The point P now, which was 2 for the x and 2 for the y, as we said, the x value will remain the same. So 2 for the x will still be 2 when a reflection takes place. The y value, however, which is 2, will be multiplied by -1. So our new coordinate for the P prime will be 2, -2. And that is this point right here. Now for point Q, the original coordinates for Q was 4 and 1. So our 4, which is our x coordinate, will remain unchanged, and our y value, which is 1, will be multiplied by -1 and give us a -1. So our coordinates for Q prime will be 4, -1. And that is it, this point here. And we can now go ahead and join our points to get our newly reflected triangle.